In today's video, I'll talk about what Russia just did and how it'll affect Dogecoin and the crypto market in the near future. There are some crucial things about this ban that almost everyone missed out on, and so I'll look at them too. I'll also discuss some new data for both Doge and Bitcoin and some incredible news for crypto adoption, so make sure you stick till the end. But before that, let's talk about what billionaire Thomas Peterffy, founder of Interactive Brokers, said about the crypto market. He said he plans to buy more Bitcoin if its price hits 12K. Peterffy is the founder and chairman of the board of directors of Interactive Brokers, an online trading platform. His net worth is currently $18.4 billion. He said in January that it is prudent for investors to have 2% to 3% of their personal wealth in crypto, just in case fiat currency goes to hell. And in July last year, he revealed that he is holding some Bitcoin, saying that there's a small chance that this will be a dominant currency in the financial markets. He also told Forbes last week that he still believes Bitcoin could become very valuable despite the recent crypto market sell-off. He added that he is still holding some Bitcoin despite the sell-off. He then said, "The U.S. government could seek to ban crypto, considering that officials are concerned that cryptos are being used to provide financing for illegal activities." He also believes that inflationary pressures will continue for years, not months. We're obviously talking about Thomas Peterffy because he's really good at what he does, and I'm sure he has a big team of professionals that help him analyze what's going on in the market. Moving on, the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki, said this week that he is waiting to buy Bitcoin, emphasizing that the greatest sale on earth is coming as asset prices are crashing. He also said, "Asset bubble found a pin. Asset prices crashing. In cash position waiting to pick up bargains, especially in real estate and Bitcoin. Do not miss the greatest sale on earth." Robert is one of the most looked after analysts in the entire world, and so we need to pay close attention to what he's saying. Now let's talk about some bad news that came out today. The Central Bank of Sri Lanka published a notice about crypto titled Public Awareness in relation to the use of virtual currencies in Sri Lanka. The Sri Lankan Central Bank emphasized that it has not given any license or authorization to any entity or company to operate schemes involving cryptocurrencies. And then, the Central Bank of Sri Lanka warned that electronic fund transfer cards, such as debit cards and credit cards, are not permitted to be used for payments related to virtual currency transactions. Basically, the Sri Lankan government is becoming really wary of cryptos because of the recent crash. And I can see a lot more countries becoming more and more wary of cryptos in the coming months. Moving on, there's some big news for Warren Buffett too. So, Tron founder Justin Sun believes that legendary investor Warren Buffett continues to hold Bitcoin. Sun gifted Buffett a Samsung Galaxy Fold 2 phone loaded with 1 Bitcoin and 1.9 million TRX tokens. Sun users noticed that the wallets containing gifted crypto had remained inactive. However, after the dinner, Buffett told Sun that he gave the phone to the Glide Foundation. So while Justin believes Warren Buffett is still holding crypto, it is highly unlikely that he is. And this is precisely why Warren Buffett has been saying horrible things about cryptocurrencies. Recently, the legendary investor said that he wouldn't buy all Bitcoins in existence for only $25, reiterating that crypto is completely worthless since it doesn't actually produce anything. Now let's talk about a very important survey that came out recently. So, the U.S. Federal Reserve Board shared the results of a survey conducted on the nation's largest banks to learn about their interests and expectations in crypto-related financial products and services. The results show that more than 66% of the 80 CFOZEs that participated in the study agreed that implementing crypto or DeFi products was not a priority to achieve greater economic growth and development. It says that respondents generally reported that their bank does not see these technologies as having large effects on liquidity management. However, for a quarter of respondents, blockchain and other distributed ledger technologies were considered a medium to high priority when asked about strategies to improve their infrastructure. Basically, most banks do not expect DLT or crypto-related products to impact their liquidity management practices in the next 2 to 5 years and 5 to 10 years. This just means that the banking industry is not that bothered about cryptos in the short term, and even they're scared about the future or the market. It could also mean that they're trying to manipulate the market, but given that Bitcoin stands at 21K and Doge at 6 cents, I'd say it's highly unlikely. Now, let's talk about the big news about Russia's ban on Dogecoin. The actual quote from the authorities specifies that, unless specified otherwise by federal regulations, it is illegal to transmit or accept digital financial assets as payment for transfers, products delivered, services, or performed works in any way that allows one to assume payment for goods using a digital financial asset. So the government has officially forbidden the use of crypto for services, executing tasks, and transporting commodities. But this is really bad news because Russians are utilizing cryptos to oppose the government. If they don't want to be held or supported by the government, they turn to cryptos, which is what has continued to happen, and this is why Vladimir is banning crypto. But let's dig a bit deeper. In January 2022, Putin made some favorable remarks regarding Bitcoin mining. He said that Russia had a competitive edge in Bitcoin mining due to abundant electricity and well-trained employees. Since the country's central bank had called for a ban on Bitcoin mining, Russia's financial ministry stated in early August that it will be required to enable crypto technology to flourish. Therefore, they have stated that it will be necessary. The thing is, where the government has a lot of individuals who are solely interested in enriching their own wallets rather than helping the people, there's a good possibility they'll outlaw it. It simply implies that we need to spread freedom more broadly over the world. Also, banning crypto was not a wise decision, but they did it nonetheless. It is negative news in the sense that it restricts the freedom of more individuals throughout the world. It eliminates the potential for citizens in Russia to go against the government and conduct transactions. So it's critical to look into this as well. Before all of this, I believe Putin had a considerably higher approval rating. Now, it will undoubtedly be substantially lower, and as more information comes out, it will continue to go lower and lower. Let's also take a moment to discuss some illicit activities that are supposedly happening with cryptos lately with a mixer. A mixer is a place for criminals or other people to put their money through to hide their own transactions or wallet, whether from individuals in the public or from the government itself. When we examine the quarterly value received by mixers from 2017 to 2022, you can see in 2017 it was very little, and then there was a significant increase in 2020. And in 2021 it really took off. In 2022, we have noticed a slight decrease from what it was in the beginning and end of 2021, but then a massive quantity that is around 3 billion is still passing through. Now that's a sizable number of individuals going through it. Also, there are approximately $200 million in stolen assets which have been processed via mixers. These figures demonstrate how horrible things are. Another thing to remember is that when it comes to fraudsters, it makes no difference when you transact. If you're secure today because you're using one of these mixers and the authorities can't find you, there are blockchain analysis businesses that are coming closer and closer and investigating every day. They've already figured out how to go past and peek through numerous sorts of mixers. They will eventually find out every single transaction you've made. Even if it's 5 years from now, your transactions will be found and you will be caught in a few years. Scams have an extremely lengthy statute of limitations, so if you defraud people, you will go to jail. Even if you are not apprehended right now, the government will discover how to apprehend you at some time. So I would not want to be a scammer right now who is utilizing those mixers, especially if you're in a place like the United States, because you're going to get found quickly, so be cautious. Coming back to Doge, the Dogecoin Twitter account has retweeted a thread from Timothy Stebbing, the Dogecoin Foundation director, where he asks if Doge developers would be willing to participate in a Doge hackathon. In his root tweet, Stebbing announced 2 polls in the thread in which he asked the community of Doge developers to vote whether they would be interested to take part in a Dogecoin ecosystem hackathon that would potentially last for a week at the start of November. Dogecoin Foundation Director has also mentioned that there might be some fun prizes during the hackathon. And this is great news because this revives the fun part of Dogecoin that we've been missing for weeks amid the market crash. I think this is exactly what Dogecoin holders need right now to feel a bit better.